Okay guys, what we're going to cook, we've got some pasture-fed chicken, roasted with some lemon, we've got some nice buttered brassicas, full dressed leaves, some nice remoulade, and some nice simple little roasted potatoes and rosemary. Let's go. So before roasting the chicken, we're just going to give it a little season. And the way I do that is just by giving it a little brine. I'm just going to go in with a litre of water first. A couple of 100 grams of salt. Same with the sugar. About 100 mils of vinegar. Some pink peppercorns, star anise, the coriander, and a couple of bay leaves. Nice little zest of orange. And we're going to bring that up to the heat. And as long as that salt and sugar has dissolved, we're sweet. Now I'm just going to put a couple of litres of cold water into that. There we go, easy peasy. So we've got our brine, which is nice and cool now, and we get our chicken ready to go in there overnight, and we'll get it cooked up tomorrow. So I'm just going to whip off the 2 chicken wings now. A little bit of this excess fat, just for cooking tomorrow, it'll just flood too much. Okay, so obviously the breast and the leg meat there. So I'm going to turn it over just to ensure that they're the bits that get brined over the back. We're going to go it straight in to the pan. Easy peasy. I'm going to leave that in there until tomorrow. So that's had overnight, almost a whole day of brining. We're going to go a little bit of olive oil, just massage that all in. Tiny bit of seasoning, not too much because obviously it's been brined already. And then press side down into the tray. Just going to give it a little bit of garlic in there as well. Some lemon, which you can stuff right in. I'm just going to hide it underneath a little bit. A little bit of sage, some rosemary, and some bay leaf. Cool, so the oven is preheated at 180. It's going to give it half an hour breast side down, and then we'll turn it over after. Just going to do a few little roast potatoes on the side. Not overly big, a little bit smaller, just so we can get them nice and crispy. This guy is quite big, so I'm going to give him another little cut across. You need them all roughly the same size so they all cook at the same speed. You just leave some cold water running on them and just let that water run clear. A little bit of salt in there as well. We're going to put some rosemary and garlic in with the water. I know everyone puts it in at the end, but if you want to really get the flavour into the potatoes, now's the time to be doing that. I'm going to bring that up to a nice medium heat. Went down to Trevelyan Farm Organics, picked up some vegetables. We've got some kale, we've got some purple sprouted broccoli, and some cavada nero. You want to keep a little bit of thickness to the cavada nero and the kale. Otherwise it will just dissolve into nothing. We don't want to spend all our time chiffonading this to an inch of its life. Done. So chicken's in the oven, potatoes cooking away, the greens are ready to cook. Just to make it a little bit of a lighter roast chicken, we're going to make a little remoulade, which is basically coleslaw. First step, let's knock out the top of these fennel. Cut it in half so it's easier to manage. Now you could use a mandolin for this. Into the bowl. Okay, that's all nicely cut up. That will go brown quite quick. So we can add a little bit of salt, which will just help to bring out some of the moisture in that fennel, and a little bit of lemon zest. And then we're going to put some juice in. Just give it a little roll with your hands first. That helps break those cells down. So, celeriac, you can find it everywhere nowadays. This is a nice little organic one. It's nice and small, nice and compact. So nice shavings first. Yeah, and then this way. Here's some nice little battens. That's all cut up. Let's mix with that lemon juice and salt that's already in there. Don't add more. Okie dokie. Okay, let's turn it over now. Watch your fingers, obviously. It's very, very, very hot. We'll give it another half an hour just to crisp up all this side so it's nice and evenly cooked. So potatoes, they're getting pretty close now. I'm just going to run my knife through them. If I don't feel much tension, it goes through nice and easy, they're ready. And give them a little shake just to break up the edges a little bit. all these little fluffy bits now, they're going to go nice and crispy. Cool. I'm just going to let these potatoes cool down now, just so they start to get a bit of a white powder, that kind of starchiness around the outside. That's going to really help them go crispy. If I cook them now, all that moisture is going to get locked inside. We want all this steam to just stop happening, so they're nice and dry and they'll go really, really crispy. So to finish the remoulade, we need to make our own mayonnaise now. So we're going to need some egg yolk, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of vinegar, not too much. And we're going to finish it with some oil and whisk it away. Now usually we would season that now, a little bit of lemon, and that'll be done. But because we've already added lemon and salt to the vegetables, we're not going to bother with that. Mix that around nicely. I'm going to finish that with some chopped sage. Keep it rustic, don't worry about making it perfect. All done. So it's had another half an hour now, that chicken on both sides. So I'm going to wing it up to 200 degrees just to make sure that skin goes real crisp. Then we'll get it out to rest. Golden brown. We've got some really hot oil just to help those potatoes go nice and crispy. You can smell that garlic and rosemary it's been boiled in. It makes a big difference. Seasoning, some more rosemary, and some more garlic. And then the oven's nice and hot already. They're going to go in about 190 degrees for about 25 minutes. Let's cook up these greens. I don't really ever want to put anything like this into water, because all you're doing is diluting the flavour of it. Okay, I'm happy with that now. So I'm going to turn the heat off, but that's a wonderful little side, just as it is there. I always dress some leaves to go with the chicken as well. Little trick with dressing any salad leaves is dress the bowl first. It's absolute must. Now each leaf is definitely covered with dressing. Nice. The idea was just lifting simple cookery up to something that's delicious. The quality of the chicken is the absolute key here. It doesn't really matter how good a chef you are or how good a cook you are. If you're using poor quality chicken, it's going to be dry. It's going to have all that kind of ammonia flavours to it. But because we've sourced a really good one here, we're really going to treat it with some respect, and that's why brining is so important for this. You should really get some moisture out of that. It's going to be delicious. Honestly, the best chicken you've ever had, hands down.